Hey folks, I'm Brendan, and you're watching the Overqualified Henchman. A couple of weeks ago, I looked at the DC half of the second wave of LEGO superhero Mighty Micros, and I said I'd be getting to the Marvel half shortly. And then I didn't, because I had other stuff I want to talk about first. But now I am, which you may have already surmised because this video probably has a title to that effect. Look, it's daylight savings time, I lost an hour of sleep. Let's do this thing. You probably know the drill by now. The Mighty Micros are LEGO sets of about 80 to 100 pieces featuring one superhero and one supervillain in go-kart style racers. I called Marvel the winner of Wave 1 thanks to more creative vehicle designs, but DC stepped it up in Wave 2 with stuff like Wonder Woman's invisible jet and Bizarro's backwards cape car. So did the House of Ideas manage to keep up? Let's take a look. First off, we have an X-Men theme set, Wolverine vs. Magneto. Now, Logan just hit theaters and it's amazing, but this bright blue jet, inspired by the Blackbird, is straight out of the Jim Lee 90s era. It's funny to see the long, sleek design of the Blackbird foreshortened like this, but with that wing pattern, it's still unmistakable. Meanwhile, anybody who grew up with X-Men the Animated Series is gonna dig Wolverine's bright yellows and blues. Na 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 na. Na, 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 na. The design of Magneto's car, on the other hand, is a little more tongue-in-cheek. It's a little tough to see under his cape, but the magnet design comes across well, and it sticks to his signature red and purple colors. The handheld effect showing his mastery of magnetism is pretty slick, but the really interesting thing about this miniature minifigure is the head. On one side, we get nothing but intense eyes from underneath the shadows of his helmet, while on the other side, we get a frowny face with his unmistakable white eyebrows. Now, this alternate face is printed on black plastic, and it looks about as good as printing on black plastic ever looks, but it's a nice, appreciated bonus. Well, it's a bad day to have an adamantium skeleton, bub. For our next match, in the bid to be top arachnid, it's Spider-Man versus Scorpion. Like Batman on the DC side of things, Spider-Man is the only character who showed up in both Wave 1 and Wave 2. Unlike Batman, who sported two distinctly different costumes, the difference here is just Spider-Man's expression. I feel like I should be more annoyed by that, but one of my favorite things about Spider-Man's visual is how he emotes using the eyes of his mask. So the idea of getting a bunch of different expressions in this exaggerated cartoony style actually kind of appeals to me. More importantly, while Spider-Man had a kind of unexpected helicopter-themed card in the first wave, this time there's no mistaking the Spider-Mobile. This red and blue Doom buggy even has the oversized web shooters on the back. Now that's what I call a fiasco. Scorpion's cart is a great integration between the design of the vehicle and the minifigure. It's hard to miss the claws on either side of that big honkin' engine block, but that menacing tail actually belongs to Scorpion himself. This is pretty smart because otherwise his tail would be competing for the same space as a second tail on the cart. And I'm man enough to admit that the fact these two brought their pets along for the ride is pretty cute. Rounding out our trio of duos is Iron Man, the Armored Avenger, versus Thanos, the Mad Titan. Iron Man's racer is pretty straightforward, but with those four repulsors on the back with their pointy little yellow accents, it's just about impossible not to imagine this thing rocketing down the track like a streak of red. Really though, the minifigure steals the show here, because beneath that old school armor is Tony Stark's smirking face with an alternate hairpiece to complete the look. I don't even mind that he's doing DreamWorks face, he's so sassy. However, I did save the best for last. That's kind of how you do these things. Thanos is piloting an oversized version of the Infinity Gauntlet itself, and that is the greatest. The shiny gold pieces are the greatest. The articulated thumb and fingers are the greatest. The matching golden mitt on the minifigure is the greatest. The comic accurate color placement of the Infinity Gems is the greatest. It's not even a contest. The Infinity Gauntlet is the best cart out of either wave of the Mighty Micros. If you're gonna pick up just one of these sets for a pair of desk toys or some fun hand candy, this is the one. I mean, buying just one of something instead of collecting all of them is something some people do, or so I hear. The designs in Wave 2 definitely make a case for how wacky you can get with this idea. Hopefully we get to see more. Say, if we do get a Wave 3, which characters would you like to see featured? That would be an excellent thing to leave in the comments below. While you're at it, you could also check out my other Mighty Micros videos if you missed them, or head over to my channel and, explore a bit, expand your horizons. As always, you'd be doing me a big favor if you remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone you think might get a kick out of it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep on henching. The only problem is he spends the first 2 laps of the race only showing up in after credits scenes.